subscribe, follow, like, share. Last Bell Boxing. These guys give you all the exclusives, and next time I get my fight date, it's going to be exclusive on here as well. So make sure you give them all a follow.
Hello, welcome to Last Bell Boxing. Today we're joined by boxing royalty, especially in this part of the neck of the woods. Leigh Wood, how you going, Leigh?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. Keeping myself busy. Yeah. You know, never easy is it to deal with defeat, but I'm feeling all right. I just want to get back in there, to be honest.
Let's jump into that fight then. So how did it feel? Obviously, higher weight class, and you was having some success in the fight, wasn't you?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that played out how we expected. There's a few things it didn't, which was probably down to me more than anything. Yeah, I don't want to make excuses. I said to Anto before, none of us are gonna make excuses. So I'm not gonna sit here and make excuses. The better man won on the night. Is there things that I'd do if it happened again? Is there things I'd change? Yeah, there's loads of things, little adjustments I'd make, but that's hindsight, and hindsight's a beautiful thing. But
yeah, and how much was it down to ring rust, Leigh? You was out the ring for a long time between the Warrington and Cacace fight, wasn't you?
yeah, I don't know, possibly, but I didn't feel like I was more nervous in the changing room before or anything like that. If anything, I was probably a bit too. I think I was a bit too relaxed in the fight. I think I should have pressured more. But like going into that gap between round 8 and round 9, I felt it was tired. I felt it was tiring. But I feel like I started round 9 as I finished round 8, and I should have just been a bit more patient. I was probably a little bit too reckless, trying to close the gap too quick, trying to press too hard, and that's how I ended up getting caught. I wasn't so much the uppercut, it was the left hook before that. I jumped in, I was pressing hard, thinking, right, I got a few rounds here to really crank it up. Being a bit too eager, probably got caught.
And obviously, Cacace is known as a bit of a puncher at that weight class. Was there a big difference between power, between feather and super feather?
I don't think it was the power. I think the long levers was the bigger problem. Like it was sitting back, making me close the gap. Very ranger. And then obviously I was pressing hard, like I said, in round 9, and he just turned that hook as I jumped in to try and because the gap was bigger, so I had to close it. And the way I did it wasn't the right way. I was too eager, like I said. Power wise, he obviously got caught with that headshot, but the headshot didn't bother me. It was more the body shot. He did to me what we thought we'd do to him and work him up and down. But I didn't really get the opportunity because of probably down to me being a bit too eager, like I said, rushing things a little bit. But yeah, caught with that body shot, and Ben was the right decision for Ben. I'm never going to say he should have been stopped, or I'm glad he got stopped, because I'd rather fight to the death. I'd rather fight. I'd rather fight to the end, and I'd never quit, or I'd still think I'd find a way. But obviously, you got to be realistic. I got caught with a really good body shot. When Ben threw the towel and I turned around and I couldn't breathe for about. I was on the corner like that, and I couldn't breathe for about a minute. But if Ben were not for the towel, then in hindsight, I should have took a knee. But I'm just not on my instinct to take a knee. So I probably would have got caught with a headshot after that. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, frustrating watching it back. Very frustrating.
And obviously with Queensbury now, what's Frank's plans moving forward then, Leigh? What would you like to do moving forward? Because obviously a great night, wasn't it? The fans were roaring again. You got a great following. So what's the plans moving forward, Leigh?
Yeah, I want to get out as soon as possible. Probably around October time at the latest. Yeah, sometimes when you get beat, you get a lot of shit. And it's not really been like that. I've had a lot of love off everyone, a lot of messages and a lot of support. And it's nice to see that because you don't really get that in boxing. Sometimes it's quite cutthroat. Everyone and a lot of support and some nice messages, which is nice. But just I was about to say, I went on holiday with my kids and I went on holiday myself, had a bit of downtime. But when you just can't enjoy it, what I'm thinking about is getting back in the gym. And yeah, I was back in the gym this week, back in a bit of a routine. Want to get a fight nailed down. I don't want to have a massive gap out the ring. I want to try and get back in the ring around October time.
I mean, what a gym you're at the minute, right? Some of the fighters that are going into Ben's gym, wow.
Unbelievable, Moses, he's just in the nicest possible way. He's just a freak. It's just literally like it's just heavyweight shouldn't be able to do what he does. Unbelievable talent. You got Shabazz had to postpone his fight with a little injury, but he's one to watch. He'll pretty confident he'll win a world title. Prestigious one. He's obviously got the IBO. Luke and Pat McCormack just had the birthday. Unbelievable talents. Royson soon got a step up.
Yeah.
Again, talented. There's so many lads in the gym. Like it's just a good vibe, mate. At the minute, everyone's on it.
But you've got a lot to offer them, haven't you, in terms of experience, Lee? Because you've been through all levels in the boxing game. You know the good and bad parts of boxing, right? So I'd imagine they tap you up for info, right?
We have our conversations, mate. Yeah, just good to be around. Like they always like push. We're always pushing each other. Yeah, we're trying to get the best out of each other. So it's a good place to be.
So obviously looking for a fight in October. Is there any provisional names being bandied about? I know a certain guy from Leeds keeps throwing your name around.
I mean, if that makes sense, that makes sense. If that's the right fight, then if everyone wants to see it, then why not? I'd like to do a better job. I thought like the first time, although I got the knockout, I could have done it in better fashion. So and he's just a knob. To be fair, innit? He's just a knob. So I take satisfaction in doing that again. So we'll see. We'll see. Obviously, we're in different promotional outfits at the minute, but I'm sure it's a fight that can be made. So we'll see. We'll start talks. I'm talking to Frank actually this week. So this week coming, we'll see what
And
happens.
you'd have no issue going to Leeds in his backyard, would you?
Possibly, but
Where it makes sense, whether it makes sense, right?
bring him to Nottingham. We'll see. Last time I met halfway and I beat him, so I don't think it makes sense me going to Leeds. I think he should come to Nottingham if he wants to put it right. So we'll see, mate. We'll see. That's an option.
So when do you think we'll hear then, Lee, about your next fight? You said you got a meeting with Frank at the end of the week. Are you close to anything, or are you still a mile off at the minute?
Early next week, I got a meeting with Frank. I've spoke to him, told him my intentions about fighting. I'd never go out like that anyway.
Yeah.
And also, you know, I thought I'm better than that, but like I said, not taking anything from Anto, that was his night, and you know, he beat me in that, so I will never make excuses. But I know I can do better than that, and I am better than that, so I never go out like that. Yeah, so I'm in talks with Frank early next week, so we'll see how that goes.
Hindsight's a great thing, Lee, but would you run that fight back at some stage if it was on the table?
I'd like to. I feel like I could do a lot better than that, but who am I to demand anything? Do you know what I mean? You got to earn it, so I don't think I'll get the chance. But yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. And one question that we're getting asked on the channel a lot is the City Ground fight. Where are we with that? Because obviously Frank's done a lot of stadium fights, you know, Ipswich and things like that. So is that still being mooted?
Never say never, but I need a lot of luck. You know, I need. The thing with the club is the club don't want me to finally get my big fight there, then walk out and be empty. So it needs to be the right person.
The right dance partner.
So I had the right dance partner, wrong time. With the WBA, we had to make that fight happen pretty quick because we had the mandatory situation, so we couldn't postpone it. So we had to have it in October instead of the May. Then Cacace fight was the right time, but the wrong opponent because we needed the two crowds. So you need a little bit of luck for it to happen. The year before that as well, after I beat Warrington, we probably could have done the rematch there, but take that, add the window that we had a few weeks, take that, add their stadium booked, their event booked, so I missed that there. So I just need a little bit of luck and I just didn't have it, but never say never, mate, but you need I need a bit of luck.
Obviously, you've been flying the flag for Nottingham boxing for a while, but now you've got Ezra and Echo obviously on the way up. Would that help? Would that help with a City Ground fight to have a very strong undercard?
Possibly, but like I said, it's still down to the main event. It needs to be the right opponent in the right time of year. You can't do it in the middle of the season, and you got a small window each year to do it. And as that approaches, you need to book it in advance to have the right opponent. So that's what makes it so difficult. But never say never, mate.
And the last question that we get asked on the channel a lot. This is an interesting one, Lee. What would you say at the minute to a younger Leigh Wood just entering the boxing game? What advice would you give? Good
it's
one,
weird
right?
because all my heroes that at the time, like Nicky and Jason Booth and all that, like I looked up to them and Carl Froch, like I wanted that British title. So I'll probably say, look, keep doing what you're doing, stick on the path, and if it'll work out, yeah, I'll just say just keep doing what I'm doing, focus on the things that are important, and everything's gonna work out for you.
Okay, Leigh, I really appreciate your time, fella. Thanks a lot. Safe travels, and I'll
Cheers,
speak to you
mate.
soon.
I'll
Take
talk to you
care.
soon, mate. See you in a bit.